Really, the people that say you gotta think like I think, they're the new Puritans, and they are. There's Puritans on the left. There's Puritans on the right. The Puritans on the left want to control your speech, your thought, the way you carry yourself. You can't question anything. Same on the right. They want to control how you think, speak, behave, yada, yada, yada. Ugh. And the thing that really triggers me is that I agree with the left wing a lot more than I do with the right wing as far as social issues come, as far as equality, rights for transgender people, rights for people that are oppressed. I agree with the left wing. I do think that there needs to be rights for transgender people and people that are being persecuted for who they are. Now, does that mean that I'm 100% gonna back them up? No. Like that lady, that guy in British Columbia? No. So people can say, well, you're not a real libertarian then. I never claimed to be one. I'm libertarian ish. I've taken the political compass test plenty of times, and every time I take it, I'm center left towards the libertarian spectrum of things, which means I'm for freedom, I'm for liberty, which I am. I don't agree with a baker saying, no, I won't bake your cake because you're gay or a lesbian. Because 50 years ago, they could have said, I'm not baking you a cake because you're black. I don't agree with that. I just don't. I think it's sets a slippery slope. Somebody can say, I'm not going to bake your cake because you're gay. And I don't know. From my perspective, I would do it because money is money. And the way that I am, I don't really have strong religious convictions. So I would bake the cake for a gay or a lesbian or a transgender or whatever couple. And I would do exactly what they asked me to do, and I would do it. And I would do the same for white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Jewish, Muslim couple. Now, if Nazis walked in and they wanted a swastika on their cake, I'd be like, you gotta be effing kidding me, right? There's a difference. The difference is gay people aren't pushing a hateful agenda, which says let's kill half the population or a third of the population because they're brown or black. Neo Nazis are doing that. Now, I know what you may be thinking. They're not saying it outright. Neo Nazis believe in the writings of Hitler, who's a fascist dictator. Fascism is very dangerous. Just a couple of videos ago, I was speaking about communism. You can say that communist regimes did kill millions of people, but if you look into communist thought, communism is very noble because it's stateless, it's classless society. And just a couple of videos ago, I told you guys that communism can never be instilled in the world because of human greed and because of the way humans behave, which is correct. So, as noble as communism may be in theory, it would never work in the real world. Fascism is just a horrendous ideology. It's one of the worst ideologies out there. It's nationalism on steroids. It's racism on steroids. It's religious dogma on steroids because you can be a Christian fascist, you can be an Islamist fascist, you can be a Jewish fascist, you can be a white fascist, a black fascist, an Asian fascist. And yes, you can be a fascist and be of another ethnicity. I mean, just look at what happened in Zimbabwe, what Mugabe did to those people. You can consider that ultra nationalism. He kicked them out because they were white. He said, "Get out. We don't want white people here." What's going on in South Africa? You can consider it ultra nationalist. White farmers being killed and their land being seized. That's ultra nationalism. Just because it's a left wing government doing it is not fascism, because fascism is right wing movement. But it is ultra nationalist to do it. And it's wrong. It's wrong. It's just wrong. You don't do that. You don't you don't settle an issue from the past by doing another issue later on. You don't resolve an issue by creating another issue. You don't correct a wrong by committing another wrong. You just don't do that. And I think this world is failing to realize that. But I know what some of you may be thinking. He's defending communism. I'm not defending communism. I'm simply stating the facts that communist thought, the groundworks, the basic groundwork of communism is a stateless, classless society in which everybody shares what they have. Basically, a cupcake dream. Fascism, on the other hand, is ultra nationalist right wing movement in which only one group of people survives and the rest of the people are dead. Now, I do admit and I do agree that communist regimes killed millions of people across the world because they did. And that's because it always leads to authoritarianism. Any sort of altruistic ideal leads to authoritarianism because certain people are not going to let go without a fight. You can't convince people, everybody, to do it. It's just not going to work.